See, I never really understood the true definition of the word nightmare until recently. If you're like me who struggled with the definition of the word nightmare, well, you clicked on the right video. Akaash Singh and his wife not only defined and served it on a silver platter, they break it down to the T. When I tell you YouTubers have been having a field day with the Akaash situation, that will simply be an understatement. I mean, this is every man's worst nightmare. So for those of you who are not familiar with Akaash Singh, he's a stand-up comedian who has been grinding for a long time. His success came from doing a podcast with another comedian named Andrew Schulz. Their podcast was on the rise and got a boost after Andrew Schulz was co-signed by Joe Rogan. As we all know, at one point, going on Joe Rogan was like a lottery ticket for any up-and-coming comedian. Andrew Schulz getting that cosign and being able to back it up with actually being funny led to a huge growth for their podcast. Akaash being the secondary mic on the podcast came with massive benefits, which included money and fame, of course. Now, let's get to how they met. How did Akaash meet this girl? So, according to the girl, Jaslyn, the way they met is pretty interesting. Jaslyn was told by one of her friends about Akaash having a comedy show and how it would be cool if they went to that show. She claimed her friend's intro of Akaash was that he was an up-and-coming Indian comedian who was really funny and had a podcast on YouTube.
I wanted to tell the story of how me and Akaash met because a couple of you guys asked on a video we did a while back, and I wanted to tell the story tonight because I'm seeing two friends for their birthday in Philly tonight, and I'm driving from the city, and one of the friends that I'm seeing, Courtney, is like partially the reason that we met, like her and my sister Manu. Wind back to like 2015, Courtney says to Manu like, oh, there's like this funny like Punjabi comic. So she thought the last name Singh, because that's what we told her meant that he was Punjabi. He's on this podcast and he's really funny, like you should check it out. And my sister kind of became like a fan of his, which is so funny because we laugh about that now because it was like so in the nascent stage of his career. Like he had just gotten Wildin' Out, I think just got Guy Code and stuff too. I remember when I came in, he was wearing like a fitted I think that's what it's called, like a fitted cap and like a sweatshirt and like Jordans, and I was like obviously in my fuckboy era, so I was like, oh my god, Manu, like he's so cute. Like,
so mind you, her friend knew about Akaash from YouTube, so this means that even though Akaash was up and coming, he was at least known. She claims her friend pretty much forced her to go to the show, and after the show they asked Akaash for a picture and they got in contact after that. And keep in mind, Jaslyn was 22 at the time and Akaash was 31 years old. Both of them would claim to be a virgin at the time they met. While Akaash was an up-and-coming comic, Jaslyn was trying to get into journalist school. She was in training, but currently she's a stay-at-home mom. Stay-at-home wife. She does not have kids. She doesn't have a job. She's just a stay-at-home wife. I want you to keep all this in mind while we go through the video, okay? So hold on, before we proceed, why would anyone needs to stay at home if there are no kids being taken care of? Like, what household has that many chores that one person has to stay at home and take care of everything? The funny thing is, according to her, she doesn't even do nothing. She doesn't do shit at home. So why is she a stay-at-home wife? But I digress.
Somebody commented on my TikTok the other day, and they were like, how do you and your husband split finances? And I'm gonna be really fucking honest.
I don't.
We don't.
We don't.
We don't.
First of all, that's a fucking red flag. I'm not like, no joke. I love you girls. If you want to work, all for that, whatever. But like any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a fucking red flag. And I will say it again because I know there's going to be already like incel troll motherfuckers. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money and my money is my money. And look,
Have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, it went up
Sure.
$100 from last week.
But that's my money.
His money, our money, my money. Okay. Okay, so I know you're probably thinking, well, some women jokingly say this all the time and it's just a joke. Well, unfortunately, I regret to tell you that she is dead serious. This lady is dead ass serious. This is what happens when you're dealing with a man that has no self-esteem and thinks that this is the best he can ever do. This is the best woman he can ever get. This girl is like a trophy wife. He will do whatever it takes to keep her. What Akaash is forgetting is that trophies don't talk. They just sit on the table and stare at you. They do not talk. Other than the fact that I cannot stand hearing her voice, it's also annoying to hear her talk about his money, my money, his money, our money, and my money, my money, because she doesn't even have a job. So there is no her money, first of all. How convenient. And the sad part is she's saying all these things to young girls who have regular relationship in the real world and making them feel like every man is supposed to be a simp. And if they're not a simp, you should not be with them. I would say if you listen to someone like Gaslighting for relationship advice, maybe, just maybe, you should check in at a mental hospital. But then again, people listen to a lot of stupid people on the internet, you know. Akaash in the back fake laughing at her saying she would have made him sign a prenup if she was the one making the most money.
Is it just me, or is the idea of asking a girl to sign a prenup incredibly offensive? And only one way. Like, if I asked someone to sign a prenup because I had some like booming business, then I would be like, yeah, can you just sign this prenup because like I don't want to like lose all my money. But then like if a guy asked me to sign a prenup, I would be like, I would call off the wedding. Like I would literally call off the wedding.
You would have called off the wedding if I asked you to sign a prenup?
Yeah, like I'm not even joking.
Yeah, this is pretty sad. You can tell that he knows this girl would be long gone if he was still making anything under 200K a year. This brings us to our next point. Akaash claims his wife got with him when he was making just over 100K and said at one point he even went completely broke to the point where they got kicked out of their apartment they were staying in. He gave this whole sob story about him giving her a jacket as a pillow and she gave it back to him because she felt bad for him and stuff. Take a listen to this.
Talking about, again, I don't think these narratives, people calling your wife a gold digger and a whore and all these other things, it's a shitty thing. So I'm going to tell one story that I have never even told her. Honestly, she has no idea of this story. My wife and I met in 2014. I was not making much money. I was getting $25 a night doing stand-up. I was on MTV shows that paid dog shit money. If she was a gold digger, I didn't even have 10 to get the bitch, to be honest. But then in 2018, I went flat fucking broke. 34 years old, I probably made $4,000 that entire year. And we couldn't even afford the living room we lived in New York City. We had to move out of that apartment and move to New Jersey. And what's even sadder than moving to New Jersey is I had to save up money to move to New Jersey. So we had to stay on her friend's couch for almost a month. We were basically homeless for a month. So I could save money to move to New Jersey. And I remember the night before we went to the couch, we had to stay in our apartment illegally. We were supposed to have been out by like 12 p.m. We moved everything out, but we didn't have a place to stay, so we had to stay there that night. It was just me and her sleeping on a hardwood floor. I'm 34 years old. She's 25 years old. I'm looking at this girl like, man, you could go be with an Indian who's a doctor, like a real Indian. You're a beautiful girl. You have so much ahead of you. Me, I don't know what my life is going to be. I'm 34. I'm fucking broke. This dream might not ever happen, but I'm too fucking moronic to quit. And I have nothing to give her. It's just a light jacket. It's like October. We have nothing. So I hand her the jacket, and then she said, what's this for? I said, you can use that as a pillow. And then she goes, well, what are you going to use? And I said, I'll figure it out. She handed me back the jacket. She goes, you take this. And then she laid with her head on my chest and her arm around me the entire night. And I remember thinking in that moment, this is why I haven't shared this with her, because I remember thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to marry this girl because I'm so broken. I'm in such a bad place and it's a dark fucking time in my life. But I know I will never find a girl that loves me this much ever again. And I will never find a girl who rides for me this hard ever again.
I hope you didn't buy any of this because I did not buy that for 1 second. This was just Akaash doing damage control after the whole internet was flaming him for being a simp and marrying a girl like that. Now, to be fair, could this possibly be true? Sure. That at one point he felt like this girl was there for him when he needed her most. Sure, of course. But something we all know is that people change over time. So just because at one point someone acted with sympathy towards you doesn't mean their motive will always stay the same. The saddest part about this fake sob-ass story is that the girl apparently left him. We found out that she left him during this particular time he's talking about. Both of them admitted that Jaslyn left because the money trouble was causing a lot of pressure in the relationship to the point where she was coming off rude to Akaash's mom.
And then now I like buying her things because I remember she was with me when I couldn't. She wasn't pleasant about it, but like she was there. She didn't make my life good, but she was there. She didn't leave.
Story time of why me and my husband broke up before we got married and why it ended up being the best decision we ever made. For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Jasleen. I'm a stay-at-home wife, but I don't cook or clean because I don't feel like it. Jesus Christ. When my mother-in-law came to visit us, I was being very distant because of everything we were going through. Akaash was very stressed, and I think she kind of internalized it like that I was being big towards her or passive aggressive towards her. It was a huge fight between all of us. Basically, Akaash did not defend me, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I can be in a relationship with this person anymore.
So after this, we both took a much needed break.
Imagine that. You're going through a hard time with your husband. Instead of you being there for him and stuff like that, you're being rude to his mom. She went to India probably to go look for a rich simp husband who would wife up an Indian American girl and show her off like a trophy girl while she gets to spend his money in return. I mean, this is literally what Akaash is going through right now. Akaash knew time was running out. So after he started seeing some success, he went running to India to look for her and bring her back. Also, notice how this video is in chronological order. If you think what we've seen so far is bad, then you are in for a rude awakening.
I look good, Mr. Armstrong. You kill me, boy, so it's out.
On Saturday when I saw her, I said, Daria, do you know? And she said, I don't know anything. I don't know anything.
She's a good liar.
Then she's a good liar.
That's a friend.
Then she's a good liar.
That's a friend.
No, I don't want those gifts.
I know. Why not?
I don't care about, I like tangible goods.
Nah.
I don't care about,
She didn't avoid the kiss here.
Who he really is. He picks up his fluffy white dog.
Oh, no. No, she didn't do it in the comedy special, baby.
Since I am renewing my vows, I think the only thing you can do is close again.
Oh,
Jasleen, will you be Jasleen Singh forever again?
yes! Oh my god! Oh.
Take that drinky thing off. Drinky dink.
Did you guys know this? Yes! Oh my god! How big is this?
Big enough for you to shut up every time I tell you.
Thank you so much! What do you say? This is so good! It looks so beautiful. Oh my god.
You peed on Courtney Mustard.
Yes, this is Akaash's wife dodging his kisses. I mean, the man spent tens of thousands on a second wedding ring and you cannot even give him a light kiss on the mouth. I mean, does it get any worse than this? Now, granted, sometimes having family members or friends around, it can be a little awkward to display affection like that. And, and we'll see her use that as an excuse here.
And then I'll also respond to the people saying I don't like my husband because I turned away from a kiss. I've never liked PDA, physical touch. I find it really overstimulating. And so it's something I actually work through with my husband because that's his love language. And I feel like for him, he tries
to do physical touch to regulate his emotions, and I find it really dysregulating. So it's something we kind of work through in high stress situations because I get overstimulated when a lot of things are happening, and like my mother-in-law is there, my mom is there, and Akash will tend to kiss me when there's a lot of people around, and sometimes I'm overstimulated, so I'm just like, oh, so yeah, if you want to know like my whole fucking psychosis.
And now the only problem with this explanation is that she dodges his kisses even in private. So that tells me that she is just bullshitting. I'm not buying that PDA stuff. You know, I really don't think she's physically attracted to him, to be honest with you. I mean, this is the same girl who cannot stop talking about wanting an orgy with her best friend's husband. And she is dead serious about it too. That's the sad part.
Would y'all ever have an orgy together with your husbands?
Rhea, I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so fucking good looking, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
No, I kind of love it, but I'm like, us for it? Okay, maybe.
I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches.
You would only be down for an orgy if
or
we did
it's
it.
thick. It's thick.
I'd only been down.
This is how you know she is dead serious about the orgy thing, because she is even bugging her friend outside of them filming the podcast about having sex with her husband. And of course, this girl has to, you know, do this weird laugh, you know, laugh it off because it's her friend and a potential business partner. So they have to maintain this best friend facade, you know. All you have to do is ask, if Akaash was Nav, would she be dodging his kisses? We all know the answer to that.
Have you seen his Instagram thumbnail? You know, I've shown that to multiple dudes.
Saved under his favorite.
Look at my wife's podcast partner's husband. It's crazy. Ain't that crazy? I've shown it to multiple guys.
I've also shown it to multiple people.
If I look like that, I'd be fucking everything I could back. A red flag.
She also claimed to be a virgin when she met Akaash, but she's caught on record saying some pretty gross and wild things, not only for a girl who has only slept with one man, but for a married woman. I mean, take a look at this.
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you believe her?
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. Yeah. I remember I was just like, what? But she was like, she was 22, I was 31. There was an age gap.
Sure. Did you lie, or did you come right out and say like, "Oh, me too," or was it what did that conversation go like?
I don't remember how it came. I think she said
You
it.
blacked out?
She said it, and then I was like,
When she said, "I'm a virgin," you went, your heart exploded.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he got happy. He said nothing compared to.
Exactly, dude. I was
a stallion compared to anybody else.
I was so happy.
That for
so
sure.
relieved.
I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through.
Yes, a virgin popping her pussy at frat boys' parties. I mean, this is crazy. You can tell even Akaash does not believe this claim, you know, this virgin claim. It's just one of those things where he's like, please tell me what I want to hear. Make it easier for me because I'm already a simp for you, you know. Look at Akaash's response to his wife being a virgin. See how even he is not confident in that claim. You can tell by his eyes. He seemed pretty nervous just picking on that situation. And the way she described popping her pussy will make you lose brain cells. She went on Akaash and Andrew Shaw's podcast with the hopes of doing damage, but you know, it failed horribly. Listen to this.
Lord. Popping pussy.
Yeah. Let's just get some definition.
Okay.
We're gonna any terms that you might need to know the actual meaning of. Alex is here to break it down.
I thought it was just like dancing, getting dressed up, and maybe that was my mistake.
Yeah.
So I acknowledge that.
Look at this.
Big one.
Yeah, the act of getting dressed up, looking fly as hell, wearing a minimum of 3-inch heels, preferably higher, and dancing your ass off
Urban
into the
Dictionary
wee hours of the morning.
is
That was
made
what
by
I
a
was
white
doing.
Yeah, this is white people's definition of it. This is what you learn. Guys, what do you think popping pussy is?
You see?
Joey Kurisay is not that.
Okay, she claimed her definition of popping pussy is just putting on, you know, nice cute shoes and dancing. Yeah, alright. For someone who has a very strange definition of popping your pussy, let's see how she explains this.
I have two butthole stories. So one time I met this guy on Tinder. This was before Bumble or Hinge. Like this was like in the OG days of the app. And this guy, he was like some how do you say, half Asian, like baddie. Wasian. That's the word. Yeah, Wasian. Actually in the Bay. That's when I was living in the Bay Area. And I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore. Oh my God. And I remembered that I would like try to finger me in my asshole. I'm like,
Right, a virgin inviting a guy to sleep over, not wanting to hook up, but woke up the next day with a sore beehole. You know what I mean? That's interesting. The thing that pisses me off about this whole situation is how Akaash is trying to gaslight us, just like how his wife is gaslighting him.
What does a roster mean?
So it didn't actually translate to a roster. It just meant like two guys I was talking to and flirting with at the same time. That's it.
That's all.
Yeah.
And when you say hooking up, I think people
When
think you
I
meant
mean
fucking.
hooking up, I just meant making out. Again,
I mean, you must think people are so stupid just the way you are. I might be going a little too hard on Akaash. I actually feel bad for him. He's trying to gaslight us just like the way his wife is gaslighting him. He's trying to change the definition of what a hookup is. I mean, even his wife doesn't agree with the definition he's trying to make her define it as. Notice how she said it right here. She's inviting the guy over, not wanting to hook up, as in have sex. She literally just defined it right there. She just want to kiss and cuddle, she says. But here we see Akaash is trying to take us to, to stupid land with him. Like, no, sir, we refuse to go to stupid land. We refuse to put on stupid goggles on just like you. They did this podcast trying to damage control, but it failed horribly. I mean, horribly it's not even the right word for this. I mean, the comment section was brutal. Everybody saw through the performative act that they try to put on to preserve the little respect, Akaash has left. If any, I don't think anybody respects him anymore after all this stuff. For a girl that claimed to be a virgin, this is pretty interesting.
If your man is weird about periods, that's a red flag. Break up with him immediately, no pun intended, because when I was in college, I dated this guy. He didn't want to fool around when I was on like the heaviest days of my period. Okay, totally understandable, I get that. And I was like, oh great, good news, my period ended, like we can like have fun tonight, blah blah. And he was going down on me. Like, wouldn't you know it, I was still spotting. And also, if you're like poking around down there, like more blood can sometimes come out even if your period is over. And I swear to God, like I thought my period was done. He like looked at me with so much disgust, and I'll never forget that moment. Like I felt so ashamed and so dirty, and like he was like, how could you do this to me, and all this stuff. Ruined the night and like whatever. And he was my boyfriend at the time. I was just like so
I mean, she was having oral sex and everything. She really found all the loopholes to the word virgin. She literally stretched the definition of the word virgin. And the funny part is nobody even cares if she was a virgin or not. But they seem to care so much, to the point where like people are like, hold on, you've been telling us, you and your wife are virgins when you met for years. But just for us to find out otherwise, I mean, it's very appalling. So also I want you to pay a close attention to this clip.
If she had a body count, I would have been like, hey. Cut that. But because she doesn't, and I know how like innocent she actually is.
Oh, you are a virgin? That's real?
I was a virgin until I met him. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
And if she wasn't, that body count thing, I'd have been like, what are we doing here?
And notice how she answers the virgin question. She has a smirk on her face. She says, I was a virgin till I met him. This is somebody who knows they're clearly lying. And she also knows that the people she's talking to knows that she's lying. But she just has to say this because this is what Akaash wants to hear. And this is sad. And also something tells me that Akaash is not the only man she's been with. Sexually, of course. Because they both admitted that when Akaash was financially down, they took a break from each other. And I'm almost positive that she saw other guys at this time. I'm just speculating, of course, allegedly. Now, out of all this, the thing that definitely made me realize that Akash's marriage is a lost cause is this clip right here. Take a look at this.
It's a ring light. Dr. Trevor, what are we doing? So, Justine sustained a bruise through some physical activity at home. And we treat a lot of bruises here. Bruises for many different reasons. And so we have an excellent laser called the BB.
Also, I heard you're single. Is that true?
We're going to go back to treatment. Typically, we get these types of bruises on the neck.
Wait,
we
why?
call it something else on the neck. And it's surprisingly, we get a lot of patients who come in.
I mean, she literally has her ass out on the doctor's table and recording it for the whole world to see. Now, if this was some average, couple, maybe it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But for a couple that takes pride in being a virgin when they got married, this is crazy. The whole point of why people brag about their partners being virgins is because no other man or woman has had the privilege, to see their partner naked. But she literally stripped Akaash of all the perks that comes with being with a virgin. I mean, she was having fingers, in her, she was getting ate out. I mean, what's left? I think she's just a girl that checked a few boxes for Akaash at the time. Given he was 31 years old when they met and was probably, getting a lot of pressure from his family, about finding a wife. Hell, I could even see his family trying, to arrange some marriage on his behalf, and he wasn't having it at the time. And the first Indian chick that came running to him with a pretty face and, claimed to be a virgin was like a lottery ticket for him at the time. And after putting Akaash through all this, she agrees to let him get a hand job from a random Asian lady. I mean, let that sink in for a little bit. She said a random Asian lady, and she has to be less prettier than her.
You can have a joke about outsourcing hand jobs and blow jobs.
But aren't you cool with the hand jobs?
Yeah.
You're cool with him just getting a hand job massage?
Totally.
Are you
Yeah, I know.
Yes. I've said that it's less work for me.
I mean, this is crazy. Any sensible person that loves and is physically attracted to their husband would probably say something like this. He doesn't need a random old lady to give him a hand job. I'll do it myself, and I'll give him all the hand jobs he wants. Now, that would be somebody who genuinely feels bad about putting their husband through all that, stripping his respect from him. But we all know this girl doesn't feel bad for Akaash at all because she meant everything she said, and she probably feels like being intimate with him is like a chore, and having somebody else do it, is like a win-win situation for her anyways. This is sad. At this point, to be honest, it's over for Akaash, man. It's over. This is every man's worst nightmare. His best bet is to get a divorce and let her keep half. I mean, who cares at this point, bro? Cut your losses and move on, because given how slow she sounds, she'll probably go broke in 5 years or less anyways. Or better yet, he can get a post-nuptial agreement and make her sign it. That way, if she ever leaves him, the loss wouldn't be too bad. But there's no way, we all know there's no way in hell she would sign that, as we all know by now. And Akaash doesn't have any leverage or respect, to make her do anything at this point. I think, to be honest, Akaash is literally scared of her and is also scared to lose her. I mean, this is a trophy wife, and it's also the woman who called him out publicly for having stinking balls. Yes, you heard that right. She literally told the world that his balls smells like a homeless person,
No offense to the homeless people, but when you get on the subway and there's like a homeless person sleeping and like everyone has to get out of that car.
Yeah.
That's what my husband's balls smell like. Oh my God, I hope he's not mad.
Think about the last homeless person you saw and thought about, the smell, aroma that came from them. And think that's how she's saying Akaash's balls smells like. Now, mind you, not all homeless person smells for sure, but we all know the particular type of homeless people she's talking about. This is the same woman who refuses to throw his dirty clothes in the laundry, while he's out, making all the money, for her to afford expensive gifts. And she just sits at home sending video ideas to her friend and topics on how to embarrass her husband. This is crazy. Why is she a stay-at-home wife? She doesn't do shit. At this point, to be honest, there's no saving Akaash. If he likes it, I love it. Fuck it.